Okay, so remember what I told you? Just move your cursor. You look at the bottom, look for that little green box.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the share.
Hold on.
All right. Hey, Brother Tranquil, God bless you. All right. Praise God, you're screen sharing, and there go the bat symbol. All right. Look at that. Listen.
This ain't a joke. Y'all think I'm playing?
Bro, listen, I got to say this before you start. I love your style, bro. He comes
from my resource.
Listen, I'm not fooling with you right now, but I got to say, bro, you come prepared, bro. Oh my God. Okay, well, dear brother, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to go take down my icon, and let's go head on and get to work. Praise God. It's in your hands, bro.
Okay, so what I would like for you to do is some of the sections, if you can read them, because I don't have my glasses with me, but I'm going to make sure that I'll blow them up so they can see too. All right. What this is Dante Forsythe's, Dante Forsythe has been saying some things concerning about this book called The Negro in the New World. And of course, he says that he can come against the urban apologists, and we follow the white Christianity and things of this nature. But the thing is that what Dante Forsythe has actually done, that he actually has manipulated the people to believe the falsehood of this book by Harry Johnston that was printed back in 1910. Now, what you're seeing on the screen right now, this is one of the pages from his book. I'm going to adjust it.
Yeah, if you can enlarge it. Yeah, he's going to enlarge it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm going to enlarge it. Hold on for a second, guys. Okay, for some reason, it's not. Okay. You see the section where it says they're dealing with the Elamites?
Yeah. Now,
okay.
I don't know if you can widen the width so the artists, because I can see it good, but
yeah, I'm trying to see why it was going beforehand, but for some reason it's not doing it. Oh, maybe because it's doing the other part of the screen sharing too.
Okay.
All right, give me a second, you guys.
Okay.
Give me a second. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
That's all right. Take your
Right.
time. We get technical difficulties all the time.
Tell me about it.
All right.
Now this thing was working just fine for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Give me my angle. Gosh, it's not working for some reason.
Okay.
All right.
Do you want me to shoot it to?
No. What I'll do. How is it up right here at this size?
Yeah, I can see it, and I think the audience can see it too.
Okay.
It's just in section. It's just in that section.
That's what I'm trying to figure. That it's not doing the screen rotation now for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm turning in and it's not actually doing it.
It's not doing it. Okay.
Oh, you know what? Okay, wait a minute. This is what. Give me a second. I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. Hang on. So smart views out.
Okay. Meanwhile, y'all can go ahead and get your.
I apologize for the technical difficulties. Let's see something real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to see if it works this way.
All right. All right. There we go.
That's what I'm trying to get. Okay.
All right, we good. We in business.
Okay, now, sorry about that, you guys. Okay, now you see, this is the section that Dante is using about trying to prove text that there was Johnston was relying on something found in Genesis 10 about the Amalekites. And you see here where it says the Amalekites of Mesopotamia appear to have been a Negroid people with kinky hair and to have transmitted this racial type to the Jews and Syrians. But what Dante failed to do is you look at the title of that page, the Negro subspecies. This individual, Johnston, was a part of the scientific research of dealing with the evolutionist theory of Darwinism and his study of the Negro in the New World. So now there's a footnote right up over here where it says Syrian, number one. Now I know we read everything in the context. That's why that I will tell you where the source of this material comes from, the Smithsonian Library, and you can type in the book, the Negro in the New World, and you can read it at your leisure. But you can see that this is a very bad move from Dante to deceive the people to believing that this man was trying to justify that blacks were actually Jews. Excuse me. I move down to the footnote. It may look like little ants, but can you read that, Sister Cherry, please?
Yes, sir, I sure can. It says here, the Jews are composed of 3 or 4 separate racial elements. The Asiatic Negroid strand shows itself occasionally in the curly hair, the long eyes, and the proportions of the skull. The Jewish hybrids with the Negroid in Jamaica and Ghana, I believe that is, or Guyana, reproduce most strikingly the Assyrian type.
Okay, we can stop right there, Cherry.
Uh-huh.
Now, looking at what he's trying to say in this right here, in this section. Now, Dante and the Black Hebrew Israelites, just to say that the original people are the Negroes, and they're supposed to be Jews. But coming to the fact that what Johnston did, he said that the Jewish hybrids with the Negro in Jamaica and Guyana, that does not support the biblical text that what he tried to use up here, because the only reason why he used that was to get a point of regional origin. But when I show you these further details, it's going to show something quite different. Okay, now I'm going to go to the next slide. This right here that we have is The Origin of Species. This is the book that's written by Charles Darwin that influenced and inspired a lot of these scientists who started this Darwinian theory about men are coming from monkeys and apes, and then they evolved into Homo sapiens and things of this nature. So some people usually use the title, The Origin of the Species, but they don't understand back like in the early times, they usually have long titles of their book. So this one that you see is called The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. This is one of Hitler's books also that motivated him in his racism towards Jews, blacks, and other type of nationalities, saying that these things are the Germanic people, or the German people are the superior people. But as what I'm presenting, I want to be very, very clear what I'm saying. I don't want anyone to have an adverse reaction because of a certain type of racist views that you're going to see from this book. We are all created in Christ Jesus. We all come from one blood, that we can see that Paul wrote in Acts 17. So we can see that this is the folly of man. This is the stupidity of man. And this is actually the sin of man that would leave away from God and start to put in their own devices from here.
Now,
Okay?
question before you move on,
Mhm.
was Darwin a believer, or was Darwin a humanist, an atheist, or, well, I guess that's the same. Was he an agnostic? Do you know his belief of this resource that Dante Forson used?
Well, in actuality, Charles Darwin used to believe in God, but he gave up on God. And I think that he was actually even trying to study to become a pastor. I have to double check it, but I understand, I think he was, but he became despondent in the belief of God because of the situations that was going on around him. And plus he did hold to a racist view against blacks.
Okay, that's a lot of information. Go ahead, bro.
Okay, now we go to the next slide. One of these sections up over here, this up over here details a lot of the pictures that's found in the book, the Negro in the, excuse me, the Negro in the New World. I'm sorry, I had somebody just walk in. I have a few things that's highlighted, but this is what I don't understand why Dante didn't show this to the people. One of the photos that's in here, I didn't get the photo just yet, but I could supply it at a different time. Look up over here where it says a dear old Negro nurse or mammy of the ideal type. This is supposed to be located in Virginia. Does this sound like a writer who's trying to prove that Black people are actually the Jews? That's the Black people that's of the book?
No, sir.
Apparently not. But who would call a dear old Negro nurse or mammy? That's racist. Dante, why you didn't show this to your people? Why you didn't put these in your books? Let me progress to the next section. This right here in this next section is the preface to the book. Now, it's a little bit lengthy. Of course, read everything in context, and I don't want to just proof text something, but I want you to see something that what Dante did not read. He did not share with his followers who was buy his books and try to support because, well, you know, this book is found in the Smithsonian. And, you know, someone up over here was dealing with Brother Casper. I found in one of the comments that he was saying that, you know, oh, he even pulled something from Cambridge University. But I want to put a focus on basically from the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian has well invested their efforts in trying to establish the evolutionary theory of Darwinism. So that's why this book is in the Smithsonian, because it supports the evolutionary theory of man. Okay. Now, this section right here, I would like for someone to read for me. Hold on. You see it right there, Sister Cherry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead and read that for me, please.
But although the Negro still
Oh, no, not there. And start up over where it says up in chapter 1.
Oh, in chapter 1, I have set forth the theory that the Negroid should be regarded as a subspecies, oh my God, of the perfect human type, Homo sapiens, that his subspecific
Subspecific differences.
thank you, differences from the Caucasian or white man, the yellow or the Mongolian, are largely, but not entirely, in the direction of his being slightly more akin to the lower human stock. Wow, wow, wow.
Dante, did you read? Continue.
Oh, that's bad.
That's bad.
Human stock, which proceeded in time and the development, the existing Homo sapiens.
Oh, Homo sapien.
Homo sapiens, sorry, Homo sapiens.
No problem.
He is consequently in some features a little more primitive than are the non-Negro people of Europe, Asia, and America, and in other less so, or more highly specialized, more divergent from the Homo. Okay, I can't make that. Thank you. Then is the Mongol of the Caucasian. In any case, he is distinctly superior in human evolution to the
Australoid.
Thank you. The lowest in development of all existing divisions of the Homo sapiens. But although
Pause. Okay, I'm sorry, Sister. I just want to pause right here, just for the people listening, and just to relish in this moment. We see that Johnston is a full-blown evolutionist. You see the description where he says that the Negro is to be basically considered subspecific differences from the Caucasian or white man. Hey, I'm sorry. Put the dog away, please. Thank you. I'm sorry about you guys. Okay, go ahead, continue.
But although I'm sorry, but although the Negroid still possesses pathicoid characteristics long since lost by the Caucasians and the Mongol, although he comes of a stock which has stagnated in the African and Asiatic tropics for uncounted, unprogressive millenniums. He has retained he has retained dormant the full attributes of the sapient humanity. He has remarkable and ungageable compatibilities.
Okay, you can stop right there. You can stop.
Oh my God, this is disturbing. This is insulting. Why would
I'm
she
sorry,
use
my
this?
dog is going through. Okay, I'm gonna try to talk over him. Forgive me,
The,
guys. Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Get
answer
the
this
dog.
call.
The dog is
Okay,
fine.
if you see right here where I have underlined, where it says, but although the Negro still possesses Petecoid characteristics, and I
Yes.
wonder if some people know what that term Petecoid characteristics is. I'm going to move to the next one. There's your definition of Petecoid. Somebody can read.
Of relating to or resembling monkeys. What?
Dante,
What?
read.
Actually, in a sense, he calls all of mankind a form of monkey, but go on.
What?
Yes, yes.
Okay, God keep me. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna go on mute. I don't need to talk right now because I'm gonna say something and then y'all gonna be having to do prayer service over me. Go ahead. What?
So I'm going back one more time. You see, this is how he describes the Negro still possesses Petecoid characteristics. And Remy, you're correct, because they say that all man did spawn from monkeys as far as the evolutionary theory. But the thing is, the Negro here is emphasized because they still possess Petecoid characteristics. So they have ape-like or monkey characteristics. Now I'm going to the next slide. This is the end of his preface. Can you guys still see okay?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay. Okay. Now, if you guys can read this section where he starts off by saying the views. Now, like I said, always read in context, but I want you to see that something that's not made up, we did not butcher this or try to say the urban apologist is trying to deceive the people. No, this is accurately investigating individuals who mislead people. That's how cults are formed. Go ahead and read that one where it starts off where it says the views and conclusions.
The views and conclusions deduce from all the evidence which has passed under my eyes are my own, and not necessarily those of my friends and helpers, several of whom have, after seeing the proofs, been inclined to dissent in some degree from my opinions. H. Johnston.
May
May
1910.
1910. Oh
So
my.
you can see that the evidence that's in this book, the materials and everything that he's done has passed through his eyes. This is his account. And you can see that the type of material that he has turned some people away because you said, here, after seeing, here's this, several of whom have, after seeing the proofs, been inclined to dissent in some degree from my opinions. H. Johnston. So again, Dante, did you share this with the people? Apparently you didn't, because they would have came against you and asked you questions about why are you using this book that denigrates the Negro. On to the next. From that preface here that you guys see that I had showed beforehand, there's your source. The actual title, it should be excuse me, I'm gonna get tongue tied. Smithsonian's Libraries. Can you guys see that okay?
Bro, that is live and in living color. You're good.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that everything's still connected. So you see this the Smithsonian Library, and that is the address to the website. There's the title of the book, and then what section in the preface and the page number, and then how many pages of, and then the author. So I guess everyone can get that. They can pull it up, and then of course you can go through it yourself. And Dante, this is for you. Go through it yourself and stop deceiving the people and stop lying to them and giving them an evolutionary book trying to say that just because this individual took something very minute and you tried to proof text that to say that these were Black people, but you actually are giving the people lies.
Hold on, Brother Bill. I want everybody in the chat, I want you to copy this down. If you don't copy it down, can't get it right now, because some people be driving and doing other stuff. You might be just listening, doing house chores. When this uploads, go back to this and fact check what we are putting up here. We ain't got nothing to hide from you. I want y'all all to see this foolishness that this man set up here and put out here like he was right. Y'all better go and look it up, because right now I am heated.
You can, this is where I said Google did something nice. You can go on Google, whatever search engine, and you could put in Smithsonian Libraries, the Negro in the New World, H.H. Johnson, and then you'll find the result because it will link you directly to the Smithsonian website, and you'll see the book there too. You can go through the whole entire book there. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. Now, if you can see here, there's the title. This is actually from that the website, how it's laid out. Okay. So in this section right here, this is the picture depicting an Australianoid type. This is what you call the prototype of where all people came from. Why do I say that? Of course, read everything in context from here. But Sister Cherry, can you read right there? Let me see, make sure it comes through, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This section right here where it says the Australianoid, where it says
yes.
that number.
All right.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Let me see. Get some context here.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? Here, let me just do this. Can you just read this section for me?
Yes, sir.
I want to move down and stuff too.
The gene, I think that says the genius of the Homo has but one existing species, the Homo sapiens, and this species, which according to the latest hypothesis of pathological, thank you, may be 200,000 or 300,000 years old, is fairly divisible into 4 subspecies, all of which are so fertile in their crossbreeding, oh my God, with one another, that they have in the course of time given rise to many transitional races. And I can't
intermediary.
Thank you. Type. So
intermediary types.
Intermediary types. So yes. Much so that only about 2/3 of the living people of today can be divisively allotted to one or other of the
definite subspecies.
Mm-hmm.
Not human, not created in God's image, but subspecies. Go ahead, continue.
My God, from Zion. The remaining third comprises the long-established mongoloid hybrid races formed by the mixture of some or even of all of these 4 divisions of the existing human species. My God. The distinguishable subspecies are the Australianoid.
Let me move it up for you. Finish reading a little bit. Okay. Go ahead, Sister Chair.
Nearest of all living men to the ancestral human.
Pause. This person that you see right here is his description of the prototype human. The Australianoid is actually, he says, that is the nearest of all. Wait, look at my stuff is moving around. He says the Australianoid, nearest of all living men to the ancestral human. So that means that man spawned from this after the forms of them coming from monkey, the missing link, to man. But this is the prototype right here. Okay, go ahead, continue reading from where you left off, Sherry. I'm sorry.
No problem. This is so insulting right now. To the I'm sorry, men of Europe and the North Africa, and to the possible parent thereof, homeo prim. Okay, I can't make that out.
Primogenius.
Thank you. The man of the Netherlands.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Neanderthals.
I'm sorry. The man of the Neanderthals, and the Heidelberg of.
Heidelberg.
Thank you. Of the. Help me out with that one because I can't really.
Furthies.
Thank you. Of
Just move on.
scribes.
Yeah, they got some words in here.
Carpenia and. Okay, now I can't read that one.
Just
The
move on. That's cool. All right,
okay.
but we can get the legist. So what he's actually doing here is he's setting up 4 different types of where you have the Australianoid, the Negroid, the Caucasian or European, and then the Monoloid. Uh, this is supposed to be basically it's the Asian American. So now let's move to the next one. The section that's right here, of course, and I'm going to do this for pause it for a second. Read everything in context once again. But right here where it's highlighted at, Sister Cherry, may you please?
Yes, sir. The
Thank you.
Negroid probably sprang from the basals of the Australoid stock. Say what now?
Say what now? That is something else, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
they classify our genus
Oh my
as the
God.
Australopithecine and the subcategories are where they believe that apes split from us. It was the Australopithecus afroensis. And the people in the time of Hitler believed that the size of your brain showed the potential and the cranium space for your intellect in your brain. Let that sink in.
That's cool. I would like to say as a side note, to Sakari, to Gorilla Hebrew, please lose that title of your name, because by that, and I know that you have a philosophy about the gorilla and things of this nature, but yet and still, what you're doing is you're playing into this type of stuff here with the evolutionary theory. You might see it one way, but other people will view it totally different. You're not a gorilla. You're created in God's image. All right, go ahead, Sister Chair.
Stock and thus inherited a dark colored skin, which in some developments of his subspecies, Asiatic and African, becomes almost brownish or grayish black. But in the very divergent Bushman branch of the Negro subspecies, the skin color is a brownish yellow, almost a light olive yellow among the Cape Colony Bushman. This is so insulting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Through though which the mingling of the blood can be seen in the cheeks.
What
It
that
is
mean there right there? I'm sorry, Jerry. What that means talking about through the mantling of the blood can be seen in cheeks. So we're talking about a light complected person with like rosy red type cheeks, the reddish cheeks.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
It is possible that the lighter pigmentation of the skin in the Bushman is a feature due to distinctive variations and does not represent the
I
original
am so
tint.
sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. We understand you got family.
Okay.
Original tint of the primal Negroid, but that this tint was not the studi black, so characteristic of the modern Negro in Africa and in and Asia, is probable from the fact that most Negroid babies are born with reddish brown skin, and that the shade is the commonest skin color among the Congo pygmy.
Pygmies. Okay, you can pause right there. Now, you see where I have highlighted again?
Yes.
You see that term come up again? The petacoid foot.
Okay. Read
You want
that.
to read that? Yeah, just read. Yeah, you can read that little section there.
The petacoid foot is seen perhaps so far as our very imperfect record goes, go in its most marked form among the Australoid Negroid, native of Solomon Island, and occasionally among the Australian blacks. While in a less extreme degree, it is a characteristic of the African pygmy and forest negroids. This is so
You can,
insulting.
okay, we can pause right there because I know you. It's getting.
I'm getting. I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting pissed off right now.
Okay,
He
well,
used
hold on to your cherries. Okay, hold on to your cherries. Hold on, watch this right here. Go on to the next section, you guys. So, like again, you can go back. Tank, come on, babe, put them up on the inside. Okay, thank you, my little wild dogs. You guys can go back in on the Smithsonian Library's website, and then you can pull up these pages on here too for that. So I'm going to go to this next section that's talking about the type of foot now that they're describing. This is right here. Let me just show this one right here also too. This depiction right here is your, I'm going to blow it up. This is your typical Negroid or your typical Negro. Again, this is the website. Okay, let me see. I'm sorry. My little bars coming up there at top. Again, you can see this is the website, and you can read this thing for it in its context. And this is the section right here also that I want you to see. Sister Cherry, can you see that one okay? Or I could just move on to the next one where it's down at the footnote.
It is extraordinary how in North America and in the West Indies, I can't read all of that, it says something of the Negroid with the
Nordic.
What is he talking about?
More of a wider blend. Caucasian type.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's do this because since it's real grainy, and I think it's be better for them as far as when they look this up on here too. You can see on here, and I'm going to show you. There's the page number that you can find it on also too. Let me go to where it's talking about that foot, that petacoid type foot. Okay, there's the page, and here these are the different types. And if you could see, Sister Cherry, down at the bottom.
Okay.
Each of the foot are designated to a specific ethnicity. So the first one you see is based upon is the European. That's number one. Number two is dealing with the pygmy or the the forest Negro. And then you have the next one over, or the Congo pygmy, excuse me. And you have number three deals with the Australianoid Negro. All right. So look at what he wrote here in this section here. Can you see that, Sister Cherry?
Yes, that
Okay,
of the Europeans or Mongoloid, the proportion of the pelvis and what's that one? I can't get that one.
Just jump over that one. It's real blurry up over here.
Are very
Simian.
Simian.
Pause real quick.
What?
Simian is ape.
Oh, come on. Are you really?
Yes. And are very simian in the Bushman. That's the African. That's the African pygmy. Keep reading, because you're going to see something that's going to blow your mind in just a second. Keep going.
Less so in the Asiatic and African Negroids and the Australoids in the proportion of the broad shoulder blades. The Congo pygmy is the most ape-like of existing humans. Oh
Did you hear
man.
that? The
Oh man.
Congo
I'm
pygmy is
walking
the
away.
most ape-like of the existing humans. Dante, did you read the book? You claim that the Christian apologists don't know what we're talking about. But did you read this? Did you share this with the people about what Johnston actually was teaching in his book? Or did you just proof text because you saw something that was, oh, it fits scripture? Oh, I'm going to eisegete and I'm going to hide it from everybody and I'm going to make them believe it because they believe a false doctrine in the first place. Sister Jerry, are you there?
I just can't believe he used his book. I really can't.
I'm across the room. I'm across the room. Listen, I had to walk away from my electronics because I want to pick it up and throw it, but that would be stupid because we are on a hangout now. Are you serious right now? This is what this fool used?
That's what he used.
Are you
the
stupid?
Congo pygmy, even though the Congo pygmy has different features, different stature, he is still created in God's image. No matter if it's a white person, it's a Mexican person, it's an Asian person, it's someone from India. Everyone is created in God's image. Someone should not be ever described as the Congo pygmy is the most ape-like of existing humans.
I can't believe this.
Most of these people that's involved in this, especially like people like Dante, they believe in evolution. So sure.
Right.
This is exactly what he wants. He wants this.
Who wrote this? Who wrote this?
Oh, how you doing, Pastor Sean?
Hey, bless you.
Bless you too, bro. Okay, Pastor Sean, this is a book by Harry Johnston. The name of it is called The Negro in the New World. And this is something that Dante Forsythe had used as a proof text in page number 27 about saying about the Elamites of Mesopotamia. Basically is something that has a Negroid type features of having the dark colored skin, long eye. When it says long eye, it's talking about long eyelashes. And he said this is the proof text to show that blacks are the original Jews, because he says that the things about the Jews is written up in there. But when you go down to the footnote, what he didn't share, plus he didn't share the title that was talking about the Negro and the subspecies. He didn't share that with the people.
So
but
he was saying that I want to get something straight. He uses some racist material to prove his point.
Atheist on top of that.
Yes.
A racist and an atheist.
Yes. Yes, he did. And he did not share this with his people.
Are you out of your mind?
If he constantly had quoted this book in his those luology books that he has written, you see how he has
to say luology.
Yes, I sure did. He's a alumni. Where else we go from? You showed it comes from a church.
Because Lewis comes and sends me something. I've told him about this. I might just block him. He keeps putting on things. He sent me something today. Was Jesus a total vegan?
Oh my
goodness. I'm trying to figure that out because
he sent it to me too, Pastor Sean.
He broke fish and ate it in front of him.
Well, your next question is, do you see Jesus at Walmart buying Walmart tents for the Feast of Tabernacles?
Now, might I clarify, though, for the audience, not you guys?
Go ahead, brother.
The word evolution is a very, very vague and very tricky term, and it can be used by atheists and other Christians alike to be very deceptive, very, very devious. Now, if a Christian who doesn't agree with the idea that we all came from a fish that started crawling on land then we will be laughed at, and you say you don't believe in evolution, which and I'm sure the panel is also on board. We did not come from amphibians, although the loose term evolution on its own has to do with the variations and the progression of the DNA in your blood cells, which, by the way, the teleel frequency can only change things like your skin color, your eye color, your muscle tension, your muscle tone, your how much oxygen your muscles can take, and how much your muscles can break, so they repair and you become stronger. But it does not. Evolution does not deal with the ability to grow gills or grow wings, and this is where somebody might catch you in the term of evolution. Yes, it is likely that the entire human race came from a black person, whether Noah was a black person or he was a northeastern Mesopotamian brown person. That is yet to be understood. It is likely the latter, but regardless, whether everybody on Earth came from a black person, evolution does dictate that we all did come from that region of land on Earth. But evolution does not say that the longer you spend in the water, the more likely you are
let me
to
stop you,
being
brother
able
Remy.
to breathe water.
I'm gonna step away for like just a minute. I'm a little
Mm-hmm.
heated right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna step away. Y'all keep talking because I need to calm down.
Now the reason why I bring that up, folks, is because Simidae or Simian was brought up. Simidae is also the older version of saying simian. It's more of a scientific term. It's more of a Latin term. In regards to this, evolutionists who were not Christian, actually even some Christian theologians, older theologians, such as Hugh Ross, many of you probably understand him or knew who he is or have listened to him, have heard him say that all evolution is true and 4.6 billion years is true. So therefore, folks, the reason why this is important is because this knocks Noah and Adam out of the equation, period. Because the evolutionist will also say, have a war with the theologian evolutionist, saying that, well, your flood could never happen. And so, folks, the idea that humans that you have today came from a ape of any sort spits in the face of God, because God says that you came from the dust. You didn't come from a previous form of primate.
Thank you, Remy. That's really informative right there too. Thank you for that. Okay, this is almost coming to a conclusion right now too. Let me see.
Okay, I'm
That's
here.
the second. Okay, now what I'm showing you right now on this graph or this drawing here, and I don't want to mispronounce his name, but I think how you pronounce it is Haeckel. This was his chart of how he came up about the things dealing with how man has evolved. And there's ones that's from the higher form to the lowest form. So on this one right here, this would be considered here basically from the lowest form. So if you can see from 10, 11, and 12, you can see how this first monkey or this primate, and then in 11, you see it's a depiction of a man's face. And this right here is a Jew. This is where they say Jews actually are the lowest forms of human. So you see the nose and that, and then it goes over here, transition to this one in 12. And now if we look at the next one, it's more to this chart here too. Well, that they have, some people may be familiar with it, some may not. I'll make sure to try to get it to Sister Cherry or somebody, or we could get it posted on here too. But in this depiction going from 4, 5, and 6, this is the Negro that's in between the higher parts where in 1 and 2, and you'll see this on a video that will be presented also too. This is the screenshots from the video that I had. It's called Human Zoos. You see the first, in number 4, it was a very hairy beard, ape-like looking type of individual. And then 5, you see this is the Negro. And
you have to zoom out a little bit because we can't see the third figure. I don't
yeah,
want
that's
people
what I'm
to
saying.
see.
I would have to get a different picture, but the thing is,
Okay.
this you guys are going to show, it has this in here too, so you can see the full context of it. I was just getting the screenshots, just tripping up all this stuff. And Dante, did you do your research? Apparently you didn't. So you see the transition between 5 and 6, and then you see that the features in 6 are more sloped in the forehead. The brow is more pronounced, and then you see the nose, and then the mouth, and then the chin is more slanted inward. And you see this kind of a looping type of, well, like a half oval type shape. Most primates, as far as like gorillas, orangutans, and chimpanzees, have this type of face structure. But this is how Haeckel had designed this because of his racism. This actually is what you call scientific racism. That's right. Okay, that's the presentation. That's it.
Okay, we're gonna go straight to the video.
Let it also be known that the Nazis actually slaughtered many Papua New Guineans because of their cranium size, thinking that they were inferior race.
Exactly.
Yep.
And they boiled down their skulls for collection, thinking it was a novelty and an oddity.
I can't believe this dude, Brother Remy, used this information to try to make his point. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you that off? And if you know this family, he ain't the first one that did this. They all do that. Not like when we caught Sam Addison when he was trying to use that Freemason who was also a racist. And then they also use Alexander Hislop. Like that's gonna help them. And Alexander Hislop was not only a schizophrenic, but he was also racist as well. He said that the black man came from what? Nimrod, or Nimrod was a black man, also an ape, because remember, Brother Faithful went further when we did that presentation. And come to find out, Ceramyces was not even in the same time period as Nimrod. That's 2 different time periods. She came later on in probably the early AD, and Nimrod was in the early BC at the time of Genesis 11. So you got to be careful and fact check these people. But however, the Hebrew Israelites failed to do that. They just want to see Israel and see Negroid by it, and they jump for joy. No, stupid, sit down and do your actual research. This is what we call history laziness, biblical laziness, and research laziness, meaning no research at all. The Bible tells us, and I got to jump to some scriptures to really keep me sane. The Bible tells us in 2 Timothy chapter 2:15, study to show what? Thyself approved, right? So that you can divide the word of God rightly, and you won't make these type of foolish moves. Bro, listen, thank God I'm a Christian. Thank God that I am saved. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I wasn't saved and I seen that, no telling what have came out of my mouth, bro.
Amen. Sister Cherry, may I say something real quick?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you. See, there's much, much more to this book than what we're seeing right now. This is just me and Brian, we go through some of these things as we research this stuff. So there's much more that's in all those pages that Dante grossly misused and to deceive the people. I found another video on YouTube, and I just typed in the Negroes in the New World. It's a short video. And as the person, I think the YouTuber's name is Judah Israel. And what he did as he was reading this proof text about the Elamites of Mesopotamia, he came to a section where it said primitive or primate. I want to make sure I have to go back and fact check, but it's in that ballpark. And he stumbled over that word, primitive. primal. You know, he pushed through it without questioning, why did Johnston use that type of word to describe the Negro? So he only went and proof texted and made the video to appeal to a certain audience of people to try to say that we are the people of the book, because look at what this man has said. And this is the same thing that Dante Forsythe and a lot of the people and Brother Casper, that guy that you was dealing with last week, was trying to say, well, was somebody going to come up and accept the challenge of Dante Forsythe with the two objections? I got you one. And I got you. And it wasn't me that got you. It is by the grace of God, by the power of the Holy Spirit, to investigate what you're doing. Be a Berean. Examine what's going on. And that's what I say to my brothers and sisters in Christ that's here on the panel, in the live chat, those who are listening, even to the Black Hebrew Israelites. If you attribute it to this up over here as your proof text from Dante Forsythe, you've been lied to. And for those who are listening around the globe, I pray that you will keep with the scriptures and keep solid your faith. Do not be swayed by anything that takes you off from the love of Jesus Christ. All right, Sister Cherry, I'm done.
Thank you, brother. Brother Remy, can you get the video? Is there a timestamp, Brother Batman, or can we, or is it all incriminating?
Because it's an hour
all
long.
incriminating. I think it's what is like almost 50 something minutes, but I believe if the panel and the live chat and the people watching are patient enough, I would like to play from the beginning at least the good.
Oh, bro, they patient. I'm looking in this chat. They patient and they fiery right now. They a little heated right now. And I'm looking at Sister Lala. She got a lot to say right now. And Sister Nicole, she ain't happy. JT and Shayna, they ain't happy. I'm looking at a lot of Black Smurf. He ain't happy. Cleveland, he don't look too happy. Listen, they fiery right now. So I think they don't mind going through this video. Let's take it from the beginning.
Okay, wait a minute. Before we start, I still want to say the same thing. We always make sure that we stand firm on our Christian faith. I don't want anyone to look sideways after seeing this at a white person or at a Black person and, fall into this demonic deception that Satan is trying to do. But we can see this is the folly of what Satan is doing to divide the people by using racism and grossly misusing science.
Nah, bro, we ain't looking at white folks. We ain't looking at them like that. No, we looking at these fools who use these. Oh, okay. I'm going. Okay.
Because I know that we have Black Hebrew Israelites in the bushes watching, or they might be in the chat. But the thing is, I want them to see this with an objective opinion and see that use the scriptures versus what you see here. You stand on the foundation of Christ. And if you follow that racism stuff, that's why you're in the situation that you're in now, because you have let social justice issues sway you away from God. So now when we see this is an ugly history that a lot of people may be privy to or may not. But I want to keep going, but go ahead and play the video.